You mind if I smoke in here? Hey, it's me, the host of News Time, Chad White, and today's episode is a little dark and a little steamy. Yes, it's about OnlyFans. Oh, yeah, and that whole saga that happened a couple of weeks ago. First, they ban adult film and pictures, and then they bring it back. Oh, it's wild and crazy. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm also doing a parody of Basic Instinct. Oh, yeah. Oh. I hope you like what you saw because there's going to be a lot more of that. Oop, here I go again. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the cold open. Go on to the episode because the pizza man is here and it's time to get busy. One more time.
It's News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to Nudes Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the OnlyFans nudes you didn't know about. Yes, the name of the show has changed, and yes, there is indeed an OnlyFans account. Okay, one of those is a lie. Both are a lie. What's the point of doing an episode about porn when I can't have fun? Because remember, kids, porn is fun. Recently, there's been a change in how one of the most popular websites has decided to run its business. OnlyFans is the biggest creator-driven porn platform in modern history with 120 million subscribers. Bigger than Pornhub, bigger than that locker room and the first Porky's, bigger than anything. For a long time, it was pretty good. Everything was low-key. During the pandemic, it experienced a boom in users and subscribers. But then, behind the curtains, seemingly overnight, everything changed. Those selling nudes and videos to subscribers would no longer be allowed to do so. People went friggin' nuts. Before we get to that part of the story, we have to understand where the company is coming from with this decision. I know what I said. Grow up. There's going to be a lot of phrasing. In mid-August, the BBC, I'm telling you, phrasing. The BBC released a report on how OnlyFans handles illegal content, such as child abuse. Moderators are reportedly said to give multiple warnings to accounts that post illegal videos instead of outright banning them. BBC first reported in May that the site was having trouble with children under 18 appearing in lewd videos. Kids aren't the only problem. Guns, bestiality, drugs, every illegal thing is being done. This created a huge uproar against OnlyFans. The company turned up the lights, pulled off its headphones, unlocked the door, and decided to respond. Way too much information. In a transparency report, OnlyFans shared privacy data to the world that contained things like how many videos they've removed, how the tip line works, their screening process, everything. But it didn't admit to transgressions brought against it. Not until they were backed into a corner by investors. That's when everyone started paying attention. OnlyFans said it was dropping porn like cold turkey. Like they just got a girlfriend who satisfies their every sexual desire or something. As if that could happen. A decision like this didn't come directly because of what happened. It wasn't the UK company's choice. They were forced to by business partners. Investors essentially gave them an ultimatum. Come October 1st, and you bet I will. OnlyFans would ban postings of sexual content that didn't fit in with their guidelines. Tasteful nudity, which is also how I describe every episode of this show. The point with the investors is very important. It seems the company had already been struggling in securing capital, title of my sex tape. Financials leaked to Axios indicate OnlyFans' net revenue is projected to reach $2.5 billion in 2022. In 2020, it was $375 million. 50% of its revenue in March alone came from paid subs, 30% from chats, and get this, OnlyFans takes 20% while it gives creators 80%. For 2021, it had about $620 million of cash on hand over the course of its life. OnlyFans has paid about $3.2 billion to creators, 300 of which will make $1 million this year, while 16,000 will make over 50,000. So what's the problem? OnlyFans' business model scares off venture capitalists, whereas any company not dealing in porn with the same growth rate ironically, would be in some sort of group situation instead of orgasms. There'd be orgasms. Money does things to a man that no woman can. And who am I kidding? I don't have either. Creators lose while big banks win. OnlyFans even loses. Who wants to go to Spank Bang for cooking tips? Now I'm going to squirt this lemon over this pan-seared salmon as I tell you to keep pounding those mashed potatoes. I'm going to be so full of food. This dinner is going to be great. This isn't the first time investors have butted heads with creator subscriber-driven platforms. In 2017, the same issue popped up with Patreon. Oddly enough, a year prior, they fought with PayPal to allow for the same people who probably ended up at OnlyFans to get paid on the site. A decade ago, Visa and MasterCard traded blows with porn sites too. Their argument was that people who charged their cards with porn could have higher risk for frauding the companies. Both MasterCard and Visa would also stop working with Pornhub because of its child abuse scandal from a year ago. MasterCard even wants consent now. Oh, progressive, if I have anything to say about that. Back at Patreon after the PayPal wars, after tightening rules on pornographic accounts, they cracked down again, even on written erotica pages. So that means I'm no longer allowed to release my steamy text from Zendaya. I'll read you one right now. Stop texting me. Oh, God, she knows how to get me going. This catch-all for porn sites and creditors is more damaging than helpful and can leave many creators without a lifeline.
When an organization like Exodus Cry or NCOSE comes in and implies that all of the content on OnlyFans is illegal, that all of the women and queer folks and trans folks who are on OnlyFans are being exploited, it really does more harm than good.
With OnlyFans kowtowing to investors, it's the competitors who are just as vocal as users. But that's not stopping them from capitalizing. The founder of Just4.Fans, the second biggest creator-driven porn platform, said they're ready to take in more users. Even Tyga has a competitor site called MyStar, and it's the only porn site I won't go to. Creators were obviously worried about how they would make a living. There are countless interviews with women whose whole lives revolve around working and shooting videos and pictures for paying subscribers. Here's a camera talking to the Journal podcast host Kate Linebaugh about how tips work.
When men tip you, they're not just trying to make you happy, they're also trying to demonstrate their high status in the eyes of other men. This is why very successful cam girls tend to use very masculine, competitive coded language like, oh, you're my king, you're my hero, wow, you just beat everybody here. This language that's designed to foster this environment of competition between the viewers. That is what webcamming feeds off of, is the status play, which ends up resulting in the vast majority of your tips coming from the small percentage of men who can afford it. I think 80 to 90% of my income came from 2 to 3 people throughout the duration of my cam career.
She perfectly captured why I try to impress women with gold. I put on a black robe, go to the bathhouse where they work, and try to give them so much money. This is such a dirty episode. The entirety of this saga was a mere couple of days, basically the same week. OnlyFans CEO Tim Stokely would later come back to say that porn could return to the site if banks agreed to pay creators. He wasn't a fan of the BBC report. Again, not the BBC you're thinking of. And he definitely threw the blame on the banks. Almost 24 hours later, the ban on porn ended, as if nothing happened. A single tweet. Of course, no creator is taking this lightly. Once scorned, they keep an eye open for other revenue sources. Patreon has proven that if this can happen once, it can happen again. OnlyFans may have begun as a place for creators to grow an audience, but it's since become a haven for amateur and pro adult film stars to earn a decent living. It's safer than what old practices used to be, and in many cases, more reliable. Or it was. I don't know. I'm kind of tired now. We'll see if I can do this again in 20 minutes. You know what you can do right now is subscribe and check out one of our other videos, of course, you can head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where I swear it does not get as dirty as today's episode. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcast. And I'm actually going to check out My Star. It sounded promising. Oh boy.